So very often we have long-running tasks. For example, a substructure search on GlyGen or a blast search can be relatively slow. And in the past, you had that please wait icon on the screen, and you just had to wait for the job to finish. So for a lot of the long-running tasks, we organize them in a way that we now can run in the background without blocking you from exploring the web page. So for example, I'm here on the blast search. So if you go to tools and GlyGen blast, you will end up on that web page. And let's just pick the example sequence, and I will customize it a little bit by just copy pasting some more amino acids here and just say, okay, I want to perform a blast search. So when I click on submit, usually it would have asked you to wait, but what happens now, it brings you to a job page where all of your jobs are listed. So the one that we just started is right here, the top row in that table. It's a blast search. It shows us date and time. When it started, it has a label. You can change that label. So this one will be stored in your local browser. So you can reopen that at any point of time. So in that case, it may make sense to essentially change the label to something that you remember, especially in case you have a lot of different jobs running. And you may not have noticed this because that was a pretty short amino acid sequence, but there was a little icon here saying that it's still running. But now it's finished. We can see there are 60 results, and we can click on the results in a second. But before we do that, I want to go over the other options on that table. So on the status, you can see we have some finished jobs, and usually you will see the number of results. For example, down here, we have a substructure search where we have 6,000 results. We have an isoform mapping service. We come back to that in a second. And we also have a search where we have an error, where the search itself failed for whatever reason. In this case, what we can do if we have an error, we can click on that. It will give us a summary and a description of the error. Now, if this is not meaningful for you, or you think, okay, this is actually not a problem of me putting something incorrect in, but rather a problem that the system didn't work properly, you can use that notify GlyGen button where an email gets triggered, sent to us to, check that job and see what went wrong. In this particular case, it was wrong because I entered an incorrect GlyGen sequence that it couldn't parse and therefore not perform the substructure search. What you also can do, you can re-execute jobs that you have run in the past, and you can delete them from that list. So for example, for that error case, I know I put in a wrong sequence, so I don't want to have that in my list anymore. I can remove them. What also can happen is that a job expires. So let's say you run substructure search or a blast, and then we make a new release. And with the new release, the data content has changed. Usually what happens in that case, the jobs expire because, again, the data content has changed. But we don't delete these jobs. They remain in the list, but they are marked as expired, which means the data itself right now is no longer available on the server. But what you can do is you can re-execute that service, and you see that little icon here. It becomes top of the list. It's running right now. And then after a few seconds, it will finish and it will have the new results with the updated database. So just to demonstrate how it looks like when the job is finished, we have that blast job that I run in the very start, and we click on finish here. It will bring us to the blast result page of the search that I have run, and it will show the results of that search, where we see, okay, that was our input sequence, and I found all the 60 high-ranked matching proteins where we see the summary, and we can also see the alignment of that protein. But since I just copy-pasted the sequence, it's not very meaningful. Another thing is very important. You don't have to wait. Oh, you can access your job list up here in the top right corner when you click on that briefcase icon. So you can access it at any point of time. And you don't have to stay on that page while the job is running. You can go on and explore the web page. What's going to happen is at some point of time, there will be a little red dot here, which means, oh, a job was finished that you haven't looked at it yet. Once you go to that page, it will remove that red dot, and you can then keep exploring the page, or you can look at the results of your job. So that's the new feature for the new jobs, and we will probably migrate more and more of the long-running tasks into that web page, so you don't have to wait for results on the browser itself, but can keep exploring the page.